All right, welcome to the Novice Sports Show. We've been traveling the world. We've been trying to fight COVID. What is it? With the good fight myself. Like I said, we had a little bit of homecoming stuff going on. We had a little bit of Halloween, trick or treat. Nobody came to my house. I bought all that candy. I'm not happy. Just so y'all know, that was expensive. Nonetheless, we are back at it again, the Novice Sports Show, where three guys came together to again discuss sports from a novice point of view. And again, we came together organically to do this again. So we're gonna get in our intros. Thank you, my man. We
AJ,
got
Jay,
we got A-Dub. So of course the NFL has reached the midway point. We got some again. We last episode we talked about some surprises, and so we got some teams that are surprisingly better than other teams. And again they're proving themselves out. Again the Detroit Lions look really really good. Of course, got the Mahomie and his dudes. They gonna keep winning until they win. That's what they do, or until they lose. So, Detroit looks good in the NFC, as well as a few other teams. Washington looks really, really good in our division. Shake my head. Atlanta, of course, I figured Atlanta would be looking much better this year with the addition of Kurt, and they finally figured out how to use Bijan and how to use the tight end, and of course their passing attack, because their defense is horrible. So I think they're gonna get they're gonna get a surprise. But nonetheless, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and talk about some of them teams. So who y'all got?
so I mean the Chiefs, they just keep winning and they're not even playing that well, which
Yeah.
is scary for everybody. Um, it'll be interesting to see whether that comes back to bite them,
right.
because Mahomes isn't playing great, but they make the plays when they need to make them. Their defense is like
Yeah,
playing lights out.
Another
They,
new addition, D-Hop.
yeah. So we'll see how he fits in. They definitely needed to go out and get a receiver. So it's going to be interesting. But like I said, right now they still look like, even though they're not playing great, um, they're undefeated and they just keep on rolling.
Yeah.
But to me, the second best team in the league doesn't have the second best record. I think it's the Ravens.
Well, they look good.
Even though they've
look
lost
good.
3 games, so they lost those first 2, and then they went on a little streak, and then they figured out how to lose to Cleveland last week, which was kind of crazy. But then they bounced back today with a blowout win. So it's like, I love Lamar. He's my favorite player in the league.
Mhm.
And, bringing in Henry has been perfect. And, they're clicking. I think their defense isn't as good as it used to be. So I think that's their kind of weakness to me.
Because they lost one of the linebackers.
But personally, I think they're the second best team, even though they've lost 3 games. But that would be the team I wouldn't want to play. Not speaking about the Chiefs, but to me, that's the second best team in the league. If you ask my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Well, I think they're putting it together. If you remember the playoff game, right? Remember the playoff game last year against Kansas City, and everybody was kind of like, "Why are you not running the ball?"
Right.
Literally, they just abandoned the run in like the second quarter. Lamar wasn't running. The running backs weren't running. They were trying to get into a track meet with the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, really? So I think this year his game complements, because if you don't bring somebody down in the box,
It's done.
he gonna run.
Yeah.
And like we always say, them hogs leaning on you in the fourth quarter, it's a whole another ball game.
Right.
And what was it last week? He didn't even play very much in the first half.
Yeah.
People were wondering like, "What's up? What's up?"
Yeah,
And coach was like, "We got it playing.
Oh
We're working matchups."
Mhm.
And then the second half,
Down the
he
field.
just destroyed
Yep.
him.
Yeah,
So
'cause,
it's like,
because you're tired. If
Yeah.
you're running the ball, that was like when we go way back, right? We go back to the 80s and 90s when everybody ran a wishbone.
In college.
Three yards in a cloud of dust for the first 2 quarters.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, second half, people breaking 80, 90-yard runs because those linemen are smashing you. And that's the same
Right.
thing they're doing, right? You got a solid run game, so now the pressure is not always on Lamar to make that throw. And then, of course, you got to remember, his receiving core is way better.
Yep.
He's got 2 really good tight ends. He's got Likely and Andrews. Zay Flowers is truly playing like a number 1 receiver.
He's killing it.
He is killing. He's still, I don't know.
And I got a problem with Zay Flowers.
Okay.
What's up?
I don't know if he laughs too much for me, but he just seems immature.
He's young.
Hey, as long as
He's
he
only
keeps
20.
balling the way
He
he's
might-
doing
he
right
might be
now.
20. I mean, think about it. He literally might be.
And mind you, I can't do what Zay Flowers does. So
Yeah, he might
Credit to
literally. I think he might be 23. Maybe.
okay.
Maybe. You know.
Well, he's got to be fairly old because in the NFL you can't come out early.
Yeah.
Well, like I
So
said, but he's got to be at least 23.
he's got what, 3
2 years.
years?
No, yeah,
in?
no.
This is his third
This
year.
is his second year. Second year.
He was a rookie last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
And
a good
I mean, I kind of somewhat take some of that back because like I shouldn't be like dwelling on a bad play. Like
Mhm.
you should be able to move on, but it's just sometimes it does like
I got you. It's just
Oh,
something about it.
yeah, it does make
No,
me
no,
cringe
no, no,
sometimes.
no. I think when it's his size, I think that bothers you because he's not a big guy. He's not. He's
He's
not.
laughing too
No, he's not.
Just laughing.
Yeah, you ain't talking about the game. You talking about something else. Off the field, his attitude,
Smile
something
too
right.
much. Yeah,
It's not you
Yeah.
smile on the field too much.
he don't have that Mamba
Okay.
mentality.
Yeah.
That's what
But yeah, but he's killing it right now. And Lamar, the other thing, he's got the weapons,
Mhm.
but his passing is next level now.
Yeah,
Like
280.
then the only thing he doesn't have is the playoff success, and that's what I'm rooting for him to get because he's putting up like perfect passer rating games where is it 153.8 or something is the best you can have.
Mhm.
He's got like 2 or 3 of them this year.
Yeah.
He's not running like he used to run, but we know if he needs to,
Yeah.
he
And
can.
then when he does, it doesn't look like he's running full speed.
Yeah,
but
but to me, like whatever he did in the off season, they lost weight,
He lost
Yeah.
weight.
but his passing game is just his accuracy is better than it's ever been. I think he's got more command of the offense. His weapons are better.
You know what? I think that
Man.
but isn't Ozzy still involved in that organization?
I don't know.
Because I think because the previous year when he was going through the negotiation stuff, I think there was some iffiness there on his part, right? Because that's just part of what we do. It's part of how they deal with you when you go to sign your contract,
Okay.
right? I think now that he is like, okay, they believe in me, right? So now he has that confidence, and I think because he could always throw, it was about him throwing accurately and having weapons. Because the year before, did he have a number one receiver? No, he had Beckham. Beckham on the decline.
Yeah,
Right, he didn't have Beckham catching it one hand in
Right.
the end zone over Carr in the end zone. Right, he didn't have that guy. He had a tight end,
Yeah.
and he had Ingram as a running back, right? So he had a okay run game, but when you go, when they went to the playoffs of that game, they're like, okay, all we got to do is make Lamar pass because he ain't got nobody to throw to other than Andrews.
I do have a question because I do believe that Lamar is the best player in the league.
Mhm.
But with all the additions that the team has gathered offensively, what has Lamar had to compromise in his game?
No, I mean, I think he's had to concede the fact that he doesn't. I don't think it's more or less about him conceding. I think it's him growing into a role, saying, "Okay, I don't have to do it by myself."
yeah.
Because when you again last year, I don't know what he was trying to prove in that game, in that playoff game, because I was looking at it like, dude, just run.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I'm gonna sit in my pocket and I'm gonna throw this. But bro, there's 20 yards and nobody in front of you. Run.
See, and I think that's what happens to the athletic quarterbacks is
Start
that
to overthink it.
well, yeah, because people put on you
Yeah.
that you're just good because you can run because you're an athlete, but you're not that great a passer.
Mhm.
And then it's like they all want to prove, nah, I'm a pocket passer. Let me
Right.
show you. And then they do it to the extent where it like takes away the
The
weapon.
attribute that they actually
Yeah.
have that they bring to the
Yeah.
game.
And so I think now he's figured out, when to run, when not
I could
to
really
run.
do both. I could do whatever I
Exactly.
really want.
And his passing game, he's so confident in it now that he's like, I don't need to rely on that. Now, again, it's all going to come down to playoffs and how because he's got the MVPs, he's got all the individual accolades, and he'd be the first one to say, I'll trade. He said, I'll trade all of that for a
Right.
Super Bowl. And, I'm rooting for him. And if whatever happens and it doesn't happen, I just don't want it to be on him again.
Yeah.
I want him to be like, have a great game, and then the defense let him down.
Does
But he has a great game, and
does he get another MVP?
See,
oh yeah,
I think he does.
Okay.
So, but you just mentioned another point. That's not the same defense it was last year. They give up a lot of big plays.
Yeah, and it used to be, that was the thing you could always
Yeah.
count on with the Ravens, is the defense was gonna bail you out, or you could run the ball and not have big plays because you knew the defense was gonna keep you in games.
Yeah.
Now they gotta score points because
Because who do they only have Queen, right?
No, Queen's gone.
Queen's gone, but they
in
have
Pittsburgh.
Smith.
They got Roquan Smith.
Yes, they
They
still
got
have
a
Smith.
decent, they got a pretty good D line. Their back seven, their back four are pretty good.
It's good.
Their
when
back
they
four are good.
play
when they-
good.
Oh yeah, they're good. I mean, they're a tough bunch, but it's just like they're missing the pass rush. You know, they're missing the Suggs. They're missing we call it Noli. I can't say Nathan Tata. I can't
Yeah.
again. I apologize, but we know what we're talking about.
I know they did
Or
talk
Gusta.
about.
They're missing somebody that's gonna take that space.
I know they talked about maybe possibly trading for like Jadavius Clowney or something like that, even though he's not who he used to be. Or
I think in the trade deadline, like,
Tomorrow.
yeah, it's coming up
It's like
quick.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
and same thing with another team that we probably will bring up as far as the best teams, Detroit.
Well,
Since they
Detroit
lost
looks-
one of their,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
they're looking to
Yeah,
try to
looking
fill
at
this place for him.
See, the thing, okay. Detroit really looks good right now. I'm gonna say they look like world beaters, man. They really,
They really could win the Super Bowl for real.
Well,
They really
see,
make you believe.
they believe, but I really think, and I hate to say this, golf gonna be golf at some point. Golf gonna throw an ill-advised pick because when it counts
most.
worse when the pressure's on. Because right now, he playing with house money. He playing with house money.
I mean, here's the thing though.
He did
Last
off a
year-
good year.
Last year was the
Money.
year that they kind of got put on the map, right?
Yeah.
So now they got expectations.
Yeah.
Last year was the house money year
Yeah.
because everybody thought
Whatever.
that the Rams got the better end of the deal,
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he crushed it last year. And I know they're playing the
Green Bay
Packers,
outside.
and this is like their first, and it's raining. So we'll see how they deal with the elements because they look really good in a dome in the controlled elements.
And it's because I wish they would be playing. They're not playing local today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he is from
They're
that.
playing
Okay.
Yeah.
See, but then that's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
So that's a little different. So everybody's gonna play a little different, it's a little harder. Your boy you train with over there, look, I ain't gonna let my boy beat me, X, Y, Z, but like I said, I think Dan Campbell's put together a great staff. The only problem is that he's not gonna be sustaining, because like I said, that coach is gonna be gone next year.
Which one?
His OC.
Okay.
His OC's gone, because his OC would have been in Carolina or at Washington, but he changed his mind. Yeah, the OC himself actually could have been either in Seattle, Washington, or what was it? He had another offer. But he had another offer. So he had offers. He just didn't, something in Washington didn't click. That's how Dan got there.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So something didn't click. So he decided to stay next year because I think he said he wanted to try to win a Super Bowl
Okay.
for the city or
Okay.
whatever, which is good.
Yeah. For sure.
But as we always say, you got to strike when the iron's hot.
Yeah.
So
We'll get that money.
next year he's going to be an OC. I'm sorry, he's going to be a quote unquote head coach someplace, hopefully in Dallas. But
Well,
I know. But yeah,
So we'll get to them in a second.
yeah, we
Because
will.
right now
We
we're talking
got
about
to
the good
The
team.
bottom of the.
Right now we're
Yeah.
talking about good
Of the
teams.
barrel.
So
and that leads us to our next one, right? So we talk about the good teams, right? In the NFC,
So we got Ravens already.
you got the Ravens,
Detroit, we've already.
Detroit, then you
yeah.
have
So right now Washington
Washington.
looks like maybe
A
is
good
up
team.
there. And that's all because of their daggone quarterback.
Yeah.
Like that rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels,
their
is
D-line.
killing it.
you got and Deron Payne. We said and see, and here's what's also key, right? Everybody always talked about Dan Quinn's defense not being built to stop the run. That's because there was never an investment made on the D tackle side.
Mm.
You got 2 number 1 draft picks at D tackle in Washington. Where you running? You running outside. You build that defensive speed. They got you on lock. And once they get ahead, that's what they're gonna do. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
That's it. They got the perfect, and of course, all he did was move the pieces he had already and place it in the system. So yeah, they look real good. And again, I give him credit. The young man is performing well. Washington deserves a win. I get it. They, I mean, if anybody wants to talk about longevity and the fact
And I
that,
like how he's been handling winning.
yeah,
No, everything he's doing, like
Yeah.
his attitude, his like the way he came back from the injury,
Yeah.
like the accuracy that he's got, the way that he's just got a command of the offense. He's a leader of the team.
Right.
Like all the stuff that you usually Stroud did the same kinds of things last year that usually it takes the rookies a little bit of time to
Okay.
figure out.
Yeah, I think
Like
he's
he
gonna
jumped
need,
in right
I think
away.
he's gonna need a dominant number one.
I was about to ask you, do you think he's gonna have to?
You don't
get
like,
away
you don't
from
think McLaurin is good enough?
I don't think McLaurin's good enough to hold it. I
Mm.
mean, cause, okay, McLaurin.
Good.
So yeah, again, we were talking about some of the best teams in the league. Again, with Detroit. Now we're gonna kind of flip gears and kind of go to the worst teams.
Well, definitely the most disappointing team is the Dallas Cowboys. Gotta be. Gotta
We
be.
like our guys.
Gotta be the most disappointing.
Discipline.
Like,
America's team.
can't buy a win to save our lives right now.
Mm.
The offense is horrible because we literally got one
Receiver.
one offensive weapon
They'll
with
have to have
CD,
CD.
and Dak has to force it to him, which is why his interceptions are through the roof. I think he played well today. And then he got hurt, and then
Yeah.
Cooper Rush had to come in. I didn't get to watch the game. I know they lost.
Oh, it
Um,
wasn't no need to watch.
But
I knew
it came down to the end, and Cooper Rush let him. I think they kicked an onside kick, and they didn't recover it or whatever. So they lost at the end by.
Yeah, unfortunately, if the GM could ever get fired,
Leave the G. Listen, it's not. Jerry is not out there playing. Listen, here, listen. People listen. 12-4 for how many years in a row?
3.
It ain't Jerry's fault that they get to the playoffs and then they fold up. Because the team he put together was able to go 12-4 for 3 years in a row.
There we go.
And then they get in the playoffs.
About to pull about to poke a hole in all of that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so when your team is 12-4 and you
Yep.
feel you're this close,
Yep.
most teams in the NFL actually make a move.
Right.
But what move?
They make a move. Sometimes we've known for years as Cowboy fans, especially under Dan Quinn, the interior defense has been extremely light. A light box constantly. You want to take a guy who is 290, 380, you want to make him 255. The guard is 305.
But we can win 12 games with that. And our defense
Here we
looks
go,
like,
here we go.
like
That looks-
great.
Oh, here we go. That's great in the regular season, but in the playoffs, they run the ball. And when they're going to run the ball, right up the gut.
Okay,
Let's see if they know. And it's been proven with our team, you run right at the guards and you run right up there. And what did we get? What happened in that Green Bay game? How many yards?
I know
did
we
that
got
guy have?
destroyed.
How-
I know we got
hold on.
destroyed.
He was running 5-6 yards where he had contact. D tackles were on their back, right?
But
A good GM, 3 years in a row would be like, you know what? Maybe I need to get a D tackle in the first round. Make a trade. Something. Not
okay, well here's
we
the
like
thing.
our guys.
Wait, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. Nobody's talking about them making that move. You know what everybody got him on him about? Why didn't he get Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry ain't stopping nobody's running game, and he ain't gonna fit in. So that's what I'm just saying. I don't know what it is. We fold in the playoffs, and a team.
Sure.
Our defense was breaking records last year through the first 12 games of the season. Everybody talking about we had one of the greatest takeaways, and we were breaking records, and it looked great.
It looks great when you're playing from ahead.
And I'm saying,
when your
so
defense makes when you're up 21 points and they have to pass, you ain't got to worry about one thing.
no, I agree.
They're not running the ball. They
Nope.
got to pass the ball. So
I
now
agree.
You what? 10 years back, go to the quarterback.
I'm just saying,
when you-
why is it in the playoffs?
Because I
that
tell
we
you, what
can't-
we always say, what we always say, once they figure out what you do bad, they're going to exploit it. And again, a casual fan, me, you, Jay, we looked at that. Every time I've come in here, I said Dallas is light in the middle. They don't have a strong D tackle. I said when we get to the playoffs, they're gonna run all over us. And what happens every year we get to the playoffs for 3 years straight? They run all over us.
So, but okay, so when we lost to
San Fran.
San Francisco,
Yeah, we lost to San Fran. We 13-19.
so
And Dak threw 3 picks.
So right. So some of those games, remember we had the issues with especially early with McCarthy,
Mhm.
the timing, where we had a chance, we didn't call timeout, or we
Yeah.
didn't get plays off. Because again, I'm not a McCarthy fan. So to me, I have more of an issue with him than I do with Jared. I'm just saying, when you can go 12-4, 12-4, 12-4, then you get to playoffs and you look horrible. That's not always the GM's problem. And I don't know what it is,
I'll say this.
but
Any GM would be fired. That's all I'm saying. Any
Sure.
GM with that record would be fired.
no, not with 12-4. Now, back in the 8-8 years, yes. Back in the Garrett years, yes.
Combine all his years together.
Yes.
But not only, good. Not only is Dallas,
A great disappointment.
yeah, the Bengals are.
Oh man. And
God, they got so much talent.
And I don't know what it is with them either, because they're another team that I think is better than their
But they
record.
ain't pay Chase.
No, they don't. They paying Chase.
No, they're paying him.
They're paying Chase.
But what I'm saying is, if he would have got it before,
no,
the
no,
season?
no, because they
I don't think that
No, they
would've been in his head.
No, it's not. Chase is not getting paid till next year. T. Higgins that's what the problem.
He's the
was.
one that's like
He's the one
held
that's
out.
like-
was
okay,
mad.
Higgins.
okay.
Yeah, and they're actually talking about speaking of Washington, I heard some rumors that Washington might try to get Higgins
Higgins, yeah.
to be the other side.
Tight end,
But
yeah.
then they were saying, is that a good deal? Because
It's a slide.
you may or may not be able to keep him.
Yeah, you're not.
You know,
I don't
'cause
think he'll give us. He's gonna command as much money on the market.
Right.
I mean, he really is. I mean, even though Washington has the cap space, I believe, to do it.
Well, but is he worth that? I don't know.
I don't think.
But you could, if you talked about
Look at
Dallas
Dallas.
saying they going all in.
Look at Dallas.
If Washington, no, I'm saying if Washington is like, yo, we might want to try to maximize this.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Maybe they take a chance
Yeah.
and try to get him
Oh, you
to
can.
just to roll it, and see if they can end up like Seattle when they had Russ,
Yeah.
couple years, make a run while you got a cheap quarterback,
Better.
Yeah,
because I mean, also, like I said, and another issue is the fact that I think, and it's just my personal opinion, because I listen to Jerry. Jerry's a great marketer.
oh, of course.
Great marketer. He says things to get the fan base excited and keep them going. And you're like, come on, man. Can you really just seriously get serious about football? If you want to be America's team, win a Super Bowl and we will talk about you again.
Yeah.
But no, that's the thing. They've won Super Bowls. It's been a
one. Here
minute.
we go. One.
It's been a minute, right?
1990. What?
It's been a minute. But what I'm saying is
Minute.
his team is still the most popular, still the
It's
most
true.
talked about.
Yeah, but see, I
It's
think
still
that's
worth the most money,
Yeah.
and they're
Mhm.
putting a good product on the
No, they
field.
Not 3-5. Not getting blown out.
No, this year. But what I'm saying is they went 12-4, winning divisions, going to the playoffs, having the number 1 seed, number 2 seed, whatever, and then they fall apart. I'm saying if we were what, the Giants are, now talk to me about we're not blow it up level now this
They're
year.
not
We're
blowing
about
up
to be
level,
blowing up.
but
This is-
y'all
We're
can
getting
talk, y'all
close.
can talk about more than the Panthers this year.
No,
Well, we should listen, Dallas should get talked about more because we're relevant.
Mhm.
Everybody, you either hate Dallas
Like,
or you love Dallas.
Not in that manner. I'm gonna say not in that manner.
no. I'll say this.
You either hate them, you love
love
them, but you
'em, yeah.
talk about them and you watch them.
You're right.
I
You're
said,
right.
look, I didn't watch him today because I knew what it was. Like I said, I remember when you guys asked me what was Dallas' projection, I said under 10 wins this year. I'm like, you know, he's talking about.
Well, let me ask y'all this, because we always have this conversation outside of the
Mhm.
pod. Who would get fired first, Jerry or Dak?
Oh, no. You're not firing Dak. Dak, you just paid Dak.
Wait, who'd you say? Who or Dak?
Jerry or Dak?
No.
Well, Jerry ain't never going anywhere because
Derek,
he's the owner.
You can't fire the owner.
He's never going. Listen,
But I'm saying, like, who walks away first?
Dak.
well, Jerry's gonna die
Yeah.
before Dak's contract is over, probably. I hate to say it, but Jerry is a little long in the tooth.
Okay.
I mean, you just paid him. Sorry,
my
Jerry.
God.
Jerry, I got your back, man. I want you to live till we win it. I want you to see another Super Bowl. And I don't care. Look, we might have to weekend at Bernie at you,
Yeah.
strap you to something and put you in the owner's
I gotta
box.
dig you back up or something, but
But I want you to live to see another Super Bowl. And I hated that this team
Yeah,
was letting
me
you
too.
down.
I would have lived to see
Hey,
one
you know
too.
what? I actually want to live to see one.
right.
I would've lived to
Yeah.
see one too.
Yeah. Hey, but look, but
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
but so this is a little bit off subject, but let's talk real quick about Anthony Richardson.
Oh,
Of a quarterback
Mm,
that wasn't injured,
mm.
that took himself out of the game because he was tired
He is done.
in a big moment too. Like you got a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
Your team is in the playoff hunt
Here we
to win
go.
the division.
Mm.
Have you ever seen that?
So I've never seen it. I
Never.
don't support or condone what he said.
Refresh our
What?
memory. Hold up. Refresh our memories on what he said.
Well, I was tired.
He said, I was tired, man. He said, here's what
I
he
ain't
said.
gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was tired. I ran around a lot on that play.
Right. Like, I don't support condone it, but I understand.
Well, here's the thing.
I understand where he's coming from.
No, you made himself look
You
horrible.
know what I'm saying? He made it. I don't support
Because
it.
listen, how old is that cat? 23?
He should be
He's
rapping
supposed to be in the best shape of his life. When you got dudes out there running
Yeah.
marathons on the field, scrambling and running, they not taking themselves out.
Hold up, Kyler Murray. And not just he run around.
I'm
Yeah.
saying,
He don't go, I just ran 60 yards.
I gotta get out of
Yeah.
here, man.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but you know what?
I don't think I would be like, yeah, bro, like that was a good idea. I'm just saying, I understand where you're coming from, bro, but what you said, you probably shouldn't have said it.
He shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have
Said it,
definitely
yeah.
said- somebody should have gotten to him and be like, yo, man.
Is it Flacco the vet? I mean, he should have.
You gotta remember though, you gotta remember.
But
just
they
because
are competing.
They are competing for the same job.
Right.
And
Never
and I'm not saying Flacco. It should have been his people.
Yeah.
Yo, man, you about to get interviewed. They're gonna ask you about taking
No,
yourself out.
Oh, what happened? I had
I'm gonna need you to say
Had a
I
hit.
had a equipment issue. What was that you tapped on your head? Yeah, I was trying to say my helmet wasn't working.
Yeah.
Lie,
He
buddy.
could have broken him.
Lie, buddy.
Put up the speakers on, we're gonna helmet.
Because you know, he didn't have that issue today though. You know why? Because he was on the bench.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But see, you gotta remember though, how many times did he played 1 year quarterback for Florida?
Well,
No,
it was,
This is something
One year
this
he
is something
played a lot.
that he's already talked about.
Yeah, he played 1 year quarterback for Florida. And he wasn't good.
he was a super athlete.
He was just a super athlete. He wasn't good. He wasn't an accurate passer.
Right.
He would just extend the play.
Yep.
Play would break down. He'd run all over the place. And of course, you can't cover from 3 seconds. So 11 seconds into it, you throw into a wide receiver in the middle of the field. He looks good. I'm like, because I remember when they had when he got drafted, I was
Yeah.
like, that's a bad pick. Somebody about to get fired. Yep.
Everybody's always reaching on these quarterbacks.
Don't reach.
And I get it that Tom Brady was saying the NFL has given up on developing quarterbacks.
Yeah, they want.
And so that list I was telling you about earlier,
Mhm.
it's like just name the first round quarterbacks, right? And how none of them have really there's like 3 of them that are looking like
Truly impacted
it's
the
like
game.
20. Yeah. And it's like everybody reaches, right? So like last year, people said for years, like this is gonna be a great class, right? And they talked about Caleb. Okay, that's a given. They talked about Drake May. Then they talked about Jaden. That was like the 3, right? And Jaden kind of came out of nowhere because they were talking about.
Penix,
But then all these other guys come, right?
Bo Nix.
And everybody's like, well, I'm still gonna take this one. I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take this. So you end up taking 6 quarterbacks in the first round when maybe 3 of them should have been first rounders. I mean, and it's like people get scared and they reach. So it's like, well, I didn't get that guy. So who's the next best guy? Get him. And I get it. You roll the dice that you get a cheap quarterback and maybe he turns into something. But if it doesn't work, the next year you're just starting over again, picking another
Yeah.
quarterback,
'Cause that's-
reaching for him. Because if you don't have a top 3 pick, you're probably reaching
Yeah.
for a quarterback.
Yeah, like I said, and you say build your team,
Yeah.
right? And this is an old formula. You get a quarterback 1 year, you know what's happening. You get a tackle, right? Or you get something to protect it. You got to start working on O-line, or you got to get a dynamic back.
Look, or
And the next year you get a receiver. Something.
look, or
Excuse
you
me.
get the dominant lineman first because that year when you're drafting,
There you
you
go.
got this a dude that'll be 10 years,
Right.
12 years, your left tackle, you're
Yeah.
good. Get that dude, but they don't do it. They'll be like, nah, let me go ahead and reach and get this quarterback. And then you end up because you're building in reverse. You think,
Basically, teams are not drafting the foundation.
yeah, they think they want to get the
They
The
want
skill players,
Yeah.
right?
What they want is they want a Joe Burrow, right?
Yep.
They want a
But then you can't protect them.
Yeah, see, that's part of the problem. They want a Joe Burrow, right? They want a who's it? They want a Jaden Daniels, but you got to remember, Washington really wasn't a bad team. Everybody keeps saying like the surprise. I'm like, bro, Washington defense has been solid for years. I said they just didn't have at quarterback.
Yeah.
Remember when Kirk Cousins was there, they were decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
trying to
they had a decent O line.
I'm trying to remember how was it like trades or something? How they end up with the third pick? Because they weren't third pick bad last year, were they?
Oh,
Can't
they were
remember.
bad. They were bad.
Were they bad last year?
Bad last year.
Okay.
Remember they drafted Sam Howell.
Sam Howell was starting to
Yeah.
quarterback.
He's starting to quarterback for yeah, and they said he had the most passes. I'm like, yeah, because he's running for his life.
Yeah.
I said, you know, so
So you're right. Yeah, they
yeah,
were bad.
so they were bad, but they weren't.
They won't
they-
blow it
the
up.
whole-
bad.
yeah,
They won't blow it up.
Yeah,
bad.
they weren't, oh, we'll blow this up bad, but like
Yeah.
I said, I mean, and I'll be honest, they'll get exposed on the back end because their secondary is horrible.
Mm.
So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, like I said, but again, that won't be to the playoffs when they
Right.
decide to say, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take away McLaurin and we're gonna make Jaden win this game, what they do with all of them. And it's very rare that that guy wins the game because now they're sending all kind of exotic looks at him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh yeah, you like to run to the left. Okay, we're gonna take that away from you.
Yeah.
So, you know, but again, that's the progression of the game. That's how it works. But like you said, they don't want to develop quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that Dan Marino hot off the press.
Yeah. You want to just and you throw them out there
Yeah, for the Wolves.
too early. So look how well, I don't know if you got to see, but Bryce played well today.
Yes, he did. I watched that game.
And I kept saying him sitting and watching
Mhm.
is not the worst thing in the world
It's not.
because you threw him to the Wolves and your team was horrible. So he's not even, you don't even know if he's any good.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't have time to even
showcase his
find
skill.
anything. Yeah.
He doesn't have an O line, right? His
He
first
got
year,
5 tables in front of him.
like I said, they folded bad. So his first year, I mean, I literally watched like 2 of the games just to see, right? Just to see, because I watched it in replay and I just slowed it down. It was like ready, set, hike. He got the ball, dude. There's like 2 dudes right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you can't read nothing. You
Right.
gotta
Yeah.
get the ball
Yeah.
first. I said, so he's getting hit before, as soon as the ball's getting him.
Yeah.
He's a bad quarterback.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You don't even know because he just needed some time
So,
to be able to watch a little bit. Okay, let's see what this veteran does in this situation. Because Lord knows Andy Dalton isn't eluding anything.
Right.
He got the same pressure coming at him.
Yeah.
But now I say, oh, okay, hit that, release,
Yeah, hit that underneath
hit the
route.
back.
Let me go ahead and figure out who I'm throwing to before I even snap the ball.
Yeah, looking
go
at the
better,
look.
yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
can ask him, like, what should I be seeing on this
Mhm.
play?
Yeah.
Now he
Yeah.
sees it, get some of that.
Yeah, he played. He plays like I said.
Yeah.
He has some great.
Shout out, Bryce.
No, I mean, like I said, I'm glad they won because they made me some money. So I ain't mad at him.
Yeah.
But like I said, but again, like I said, in the year before, he did not have a real run game. So now he has a run game. See, and I think Carolina next year is going to really be good because this is Leggett's first year. He's not a breakout receiver, but he's a mid-cat type.
Yeah.
He's big body, throw it up,
Starting to
gonna go
develop
get
and
like
start.
Dez.
Okay.
Except he's a little faster.
Yeah.
So so I think that's gonna build well for him. They get an Olsen type, and they're gonna be something to reckon with. They really will be.
I won't go that far with him.
No, I said reckon. I said it was gonna
Yeah.
be world beaters. I said there'll be something to reckon.
Well,
with.
everybody we thought their defense was going to keep them in games.
Well,
Defense has been horrible.
well, on the
And
field all
when
the
your
time.
offense can't get a first down,
Hey, look,
it makes it
I'm
tough.
tired.
Right. But
Take
no, Charlotte should be a team that you want to go see if you can. For a
Well,
good
you
price.
Definitely, you want to see it.
You want to go see when they play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You want to go see when they play the Cowboys. You want to go see when they
What?
play the good teams.
The Cowboys.
Trust me.
Oh, the
they-
tickets are
Yeah,
great.
no.
Listen, whether you like them, whether you hate them, you're going to see them if you
Yeah.
can.
It is.
Because it's,
Yeah,
it's
see,
either-
that's the sad part about it. Like I said, but I think Jerry, I believe Jerry's overall plan, he needs to reevaluate. Because I know they want to build through the draft, but you need to add the pieces, right, to get you over the top. That's all I'm saying. I mean, everybody else in the league, think about it. I'll say one thing about Philly. Philly ain't scared to make us ready to bring somebody in to see what they could potentially do.
No, you're right.
I mean, and Jerry goes, "Oh no, we like our guys," and you go, literally, everybody last year knew. Everybody, even my grandma, who's rest in peace, knew we needed a running back. Did Dallas draft a running back? Did they recruit a running back? Hold on,
But-
I'm not done. Right? Not only that, Dallas said, "Hey, you know what? We had a D tackle, and they said, we can't afford him. The guy signed for $1 million." I'm like, Jerry, you a billionaire. You couldn't sign somebody for $1 million. Come
Look,
on, man.
here's the one thing.
That's the D tackle.
Here's the one thing I'm gonna say about that, right?
Come on.
I'm not a cap guru. I don't know how that works as
Yeah.
far as but when you paying 3 players, the majority of your money,
Right.
you don't have a whole lot to spend.
That's every team.
No, it's not. Every team don't have the highest paid quarterback, the highest
Not
paid
yet.
receiver, and we about to have the highest paid defensive,
Yeah, but
defensive player.
that next year, somebody else be the highest paid.
Right. But what I'm saying is they ain't all gonna be on the same
Same
team
team.
though.
Yeah.
There ain't no other
Same,
team.
same room, same
Right.
team.
And
same
so
thing.
it's like, well, do we keep our guys that we love, that we brought in, we drafted, and they're playing great, so we gotta pay them?
Mm.
Or do you do what Belichick did and say, when you get to the point where you're too expensive, move on? That's tough to do.
Yeah.
And if it worked for them because it worked, but if it hadn't worked, and at the end it didn't work, so people ran Belichick out of there.
Yeah, but I mean, but then but of course, my only thing is this: for as much talent as we have, I don't get it. Literally, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't get it. I don't get it. Right? I mean, when they sign some people, I'm a realist. I go, nah, that's not a good sign. When they brought Zeke back, I said that's a horrible sign because Zeke is not the Zeke of old. Zeke is not Zeke. Sorry.
But they brought Zeke in
Yeah,
not to
Zeke-
be the they didn't bring Zeke.
No,
Listen,
no.
they didn't bring Zeke in to lead the league in rushing
No,
like they
no, I'm
used
not
to.
talking about lead the league in rushing. Even if you brought in Zeke from 5 years ago, that'd be fine. But if okay, if you'd have brought Zeke in to teach them how to be professionals, I get it. But for him to get the bulk load of carries in a game is not the Zeke.
He doesn't.
No, he got
That other
no,
dude
no,
gets more carries. He's just hurt now.
Who? Rico
What's
Dowdle? No, he got
yeah,
carries.
Dowdle.
No, he got no. Rico Dowdle got carries today.
Rico Dowdell is leading the team in
No.
carries,
Yeah,
in
no, see,
attempts,
last game he didn't get in.
because he was hurt last game.
He said, hold on, here we go. I saw the tape. He thought, yeah, that's 102 feet. But man, please. He running around catching the ball.
That's right there.
I'm like this. Just before the game. Just before the game, I got a fever.
Look, I'm not
I mean,
saying I love our
hold on,
running
hold on,
backs.
Hold on. Michael Jordan flu game, he better recognize.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying I love our running backs, but I'm saying,
What running backs?
look, I'm saying everybody wanted them to bring in Derrick Henry,
Right.
spend all that money, and it wouldn't have
Wouldn't have
worked.
Well,
And so,
see,
because he was a big name, in the old days, Dallas would have brought him in because he was a big name.
Mhm.
And do I wish we had a better? But the offensive line we got ain't making holes for anybody. I don't think.
Well, see, they're not, but see, that's my whole point, right? The offensive line is not making holes. Do you bring in an older back?
You bring in an older back because all you wanted him to do was short yardage, goal line, and third down.
Bro, we just need you to carry the ball for 5 yards.
Yeah,
Hold up.
not even that. No,
He ain't getting that.
no. You bring in Zeke when it's 3rd and 1, or when it's 2nd and 1,
Right, 2nd and 3.
or when you got on 3rd down when you know they're blitzing, you
Yeah,
got to pick up.
I get, okay, but see, here's the caveat on that, right? So that was maybe the original design, but Zeke was getting more carries, right? And he goes, well, I need to play more. And I'm like, bro, sometimes you gotta take a back seat to let other people develop because you're not at the pinnacle. You're doing this.
But that's not Zeke. Zeke ain't calling the plays.
No,
If-
no,
if-
yeah,
if-
but that's my point.
If McCarthy
how
put
did he-
Zeke in there,
How did he get in there?
McCarthy, who I've been saying the whole time was the problem.
I think JJ's.
No, if McCarthy, Jerry ain't calling plays.
He ain't calling plays, but I think they nudged him because, like I said, what my man say? What did 88 say? My contract year, all of a sudden, my targets went down.
Look, ain't nobody on no contract year except for the 3 dudes we just
Right.
talked about.
Yeah, they all hurt.
And-
Except one of them.
But I'm just saying, the fact that we got bad running backs,
Mhm.
to me, that's a coaching issue.
Coaching.
Unless you went into it thinking, oh man, I like what this Dowdell kid is showing me, blah, 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 blah. And then that just ain't, but again, I thought our offensive line was gonna be better.
No, they're all, no. You gotta remember, okay, you're talking about center, guard, right? Center and guard. I know you got it down.
Yeah, you go.
Center and guard, right? That was the problem. When you're trying to run in between the tackles, and Zach Martin, I love him, first ballot Hall of Famer, but man is not the Zach Martin of old,
Right.
right? And then of course Tyler with Steele. I'm like, this side of your line is pretty decent. This side of your line is aged, and that guy out there is horrible. I literally watched Bosa squat his hands down 5 times and sack Dak. I was like, this guy is horrible. I'd have got a penalty because I'd have clipped him. I'd have went right to his thigh.
He's not moving his feet.
He's not moving his feet.
Somebody else, see?
Yeah.
He's not moving his feet.
Again, and again, yeah, part of this coaching, and they paid Terrence Steele, so they got to get their money's worth. I get it, right? Because I'm sure there are better players than Terrence Steele. They're pass blocking on the right side. When
I
everybody,
would hope so.
look here, that was like the game in Atlanta back, like maybe 20 something, and we had a no name defensive end get 6 sacks on Dak because they put that guy in. They said he was the only option we had.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, my man can't block butter. Dak out there getting killed. Come on, man. Run the ball. Don't pass it. This guy can't block air. Dak out there, 1-2 pop.
That's why AJ said
So-
McCarthy.
So, yeah, he said it's McCarthy, but like I said, but I think, and this is my opinion, I think Jerry does play something into that, right? Because he wants to sell jerseys, he wants to do this, he wants to do that. So, because I mean, when you look at some of the playoffs games and you go, why aren't you throwing the ball to so and so and so? Well, I want so and so. I want Zeke to Zeke. Perfect example. Last year Zeke was with a Zeke will go as far as Zeke carries us. Zeke was already declining then. I'm like, bro, you really? Hold up. Tony Pollard in one game was killing him, right? Zeke goes, no, I want to go in. I'm like, no, bro, you can't go in, bro. He getting 6-7 yards of
Boy,
pop,
hot
bro.
right now.
He hot. We got to give it to the hot hand. Next week, Pollard ain't touched the field.
Look,
McCarthy.
listen,
I don't think it was Scarzi.
Um,
I
look,
don't know. I'm being.
Yeah.
they got rid of, look, and Pollard ain't even on the team this year.
Oh no.
So there's a reason why they didn't re-sign Pollard. I'm just saying, Jerry
Money.
gets all the blame and he ain't out there playing
That's true.
and he ain't calling plays. McCarthy's calling plays and the guys, if he don't have the guys to run the
Dak
schemes he
don't get-
wants, then you got to do something different.
Well, except but that's the whole point though. What is Jerry hasn't done anything different. Okay, the only thing he's done different in the last 30 years is not bring in major free agents. Right. For real. The last major free agent they signed until first day free agent. I'm not gonna say signed free agents because they signed them. They just signed them like week 900. Right? They signed Derek Carr to a $39 million deal cornerback. That was the last time they did a big deal on the first day. Other than that, they signed in Eric Hendricks on day 3. They signed in somebody else, the tackle on day 900, and they signed in them for what? Veteran money. And I'm just going, are you really serious about winning? Because I mean, like I said, Dallas is a marketing machine by itself. Why would you not want to come and play in Dallas?
Right. But what I'm saying is you can't have it. You can't pay everybody.
No, you don't have to.
And that's why they're stuck with where they are now because they got 3 dudes making all the
Most of
money.
the money.
And now they're the opposite of what you want to be, which is what Washington is, where you got cheap quarterback, cheap people, and then a team that's good. Our window for that closed
Yeah.
back when Dak was cheap. And
Well,
and now he's the
He ain't
most
cheap no
expensive
more.
player.
We still did
in the
nothing
league.
when we had the chance. We ain't signed nobody then.
We go 12-4.
No.
You don't need to
Hold
sign
on.
nobody when you're
Wait,
going
no,
12-4.
When Dak
This
was
is why
cheap-
this is novice sports.
I know, right? When
We
Dak
don't know
was
it.
cheap, hold on. When Dak was cheap, we didn't do nothing to get him over the top.
I have to go back and look at those. Look
We,
at those.
look, I
rosters.
tell you right now,
I think the
we
reason why we
ain't
lost because
signed-
Dak wasn't ready.
One of
I
our
know,
subscribers,
we already-
please let me know if you agree with AJ or AJ. We
We
need to
look-
know.
look,
We need to know
we
who the
do-
people support.
we ain't do nothing there. We ain't, look, last time we saw somebody, I was at college. That's how long ago.
I'm just saying, who's the dude that we could have signed
That would have put y'all
that
over
would
the
have made this team this year
top. Relevant.
better than they are now? And I don't know where they are.
A D tackle.
Yeah, but who? And
Oh,
how
I
much?
don't know their names.
Look, I would have loved to sign. I would have loved. Here's what okay, seriously, if I was a gambling man, I know no people normally don't do this. I'd have offered Washington the second for Deron Payne, interior D tackle, because he's a monster, right?
You'd have offered a second.
Because you ain't What you gonna do? I mean, Dallas, historically speaking, Dallas second round picks have not been good anyway.
I don't know. I
So,
I
here we
think that's
go.
why we don't ever bring anybody in because our draft has been so good.
No, our draft in the first round we normally hit. Second round we usually not too good. Third round we usually hit. Fourth
Okay.
round we usually hit. That second round pick,
Okay.
we usually think about it. Our second round pick, linebacker, where he at now? Where's Smith? Where's Jaden? Where's Smith Smith at now?
Well, that was some other issues.
I'm just saying though, but why would you that's what I'm saying.
That dude looked like he could play though.
He looked like he could play, but he had drop fit technique. I get it, drop fit, I get it, injury. See, normally Dallas in the second round usually looks for a bargain. They usually get an injured player. Luke Schoonmaker, injured, second round. Why are you drafting a tight end when you got three? You had Stevens, you had your boy, the other one, Hendershot, and you had Ferguson.
Well-
Drafted another.
Well, I think they knew they weren't gonna be able to pay to keep two of them, and one of them.
All three of them. This is the third year. They ain't got to pay him yet.
No, what I'm saying is, you know,
Yeah.
the contract is up, so the next year you have to pay him. Figure out who you're gonna lose, who you're gonna keep. I mean, again, I don't know.
Yeah,
They
I'm
saw
just
something in that kid.
like,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, Luke Schoonmaker. Okay.
But yeah,
But yeah, I'm just saying. So those are the things that boggle my mind when I go, dude. Because I watch preseason, I do all that, and I go, hey, that Jonathan Smith kid's pretty good. And he's a unrestricted free agent. So you know what that means. You hide him on the practice squad. Hey, kid, you got a hurt hamstring.
Yeah.
Hey, kid, your MCL is really hurt. We talk about, coach. I said, your MCL is sprained. We gonna hide you.
Right.
You know, literally, he is pretty good. You know, I'm like, so why would you draft? I'm like, right? I'm like, oh my God, why are we doing it?
but
No,
let's say we got that D tackle right
Okay.
from Washington.
Yep.
Assuming Washington even wanted to make that deal.
Yeah.
That ain't helping our horrible offense.
I know, but look, they ain't scoring 70 points on us though.
Well, we've been in games except for that Detroit game. Everything else has been pretty close.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, but
Yeah.
they are very disappointed. I think they're gonna blow it up this year, but I have this sneaky feeling that they're gonna keep him. I got this sneak, cause you know, he hates. It's cause see here, you know, the thing about Jerry. Jerry wants to make the news, right?
Mhm.
Fire McCarthy ain't gonna be no news.
Bringing in
Belichick?
flashy,
Bringing in, what you
Bringing in-
say,
yeah.
what you say you got from Detroit?
bringing in,
Ben Johnson.
OC.
bringing in
Johnson.
Belichick, bringing
Johnson.
in some college innovative dude. But
Lincoln
again,
Riley.
it doesn't. Whatever Dallas does is gonna make news no matter what.
Yeah.
But you can use McCarthy as a scapegoat and blame him for everything, because guaranteed he ain't blaming himself.
Yeah.
So,
It's like, nope.
matter of fact, he gonna say what I just said.
Right.
I put together a team through the draft. We went 12-4, and when I evaluated, the
Jerry,
thing that I feel like is missing is that fat head dude with that cap on over there. And so I gotta move you out, buddy, because he's mad that they didn't re-sign him for a big deal this past year.
Right.
So to me, the writing was on the wall
Wow.
that that was gonna happen.
I'll say this, at least they're making moves in the coaching department a little better and quicker now. So I'll give them that. You know, I don't have to stay and look at Cap Boy for 12 years.
Yeah.
Richard Clapper. But yeah, so with that, like I said, again, another wonderful show, went a little long. Excuse me, I'm about to choke.
Don't do that.
Pause.
Okay, pause. Yeah, again, another wonderful show, great debates. The Novice Sports Show, three guys who came together organically talk sports from a novice point of view. Again, missed out earlier. Please like, share, subscribe.
Argue back with us.
Oh,
Please.
definitely do that. The comments are on. Bring it so we can laugh at you. That's all we gonna do. Because we don't know what we talking about at time anyway. Ain't that right?
That's true.
Look, we can't wait to talk about basketball.
Right.
Oh my God. And that's coming, like I said, but nonetheless, we gonna go ahead and wrap this show up again. We don't even know what episode this is because we were gone so long. You know, thank you for the views that we're getting, even though we're not, and support out there. Like I said, even though we are not being consistent, again, that's on us. We will get back at it. Again, you know, we had what's the lifestyles of rich and famous traveling everywhere. You know, this guy here was in the streets. You know, I just got sick. So again, we apologize to all the viewers out there. And we look forward to, again, putting out more content. And again, we want to interact with you. So please do so. Let us know what you think. I would say we might read your comments and again, we might not. But with that, we're gonna end this show.
AJ.
Jay,
A-Dub, Novice Sports Show.
peace out.